Hey everybody, welcome back to the Cosmic Crusade podcast. It is your host Jay saying that I hope you have a wonderful day. Hey, hi, hello, how are we? What's good, what's good, what's good? It's been a little minute. You know it always has to be. As we're ramping up towards the end of the year and like everything in life is just at this point, right? I'm like, there's so many different things happening in so many different avenues of life. It's like, wow, I'm very ready for winter. I'm very ready for the snowfall, the dead, the be able to have time to come back and dedicate to self. Like, yes. Yes, please. I'm good. I'm ready. I'm good and ready. Don't you worry. How are we all doing? How have we all been? You know, I've got some life updates for you. We're gonna start off with our high, low, water buffalo. You know how it is. Okay, high honestly has to go to Friendsgiving. Damien and I just had Friendsgiving and it was delightful. It was wonderful. It's insane how like culinarily talented that these people are. We have good friends. Okay, we have good friends who make good food. That's what I gotta say on that. Love. And you know, of course, just getting to be able to get out of the house and like spend time with people and like honor the good food and the good meal and like be in good graces, like we love. We absolutely love, we adore, and it's really bringing about the sense of community, the sense of the holiday time, like, oh, it's here. Oh, we are in full swing, baby. Don't you worry. Ah, it's delightful. We had so many good foods. So many. And it's Thanksgiving, right? It's all the classics. Everything you're thinking of. Yes, 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 yes. Pass. The cranberry sauce. We had that too. Mashed potatoes. Come on. Linda Belcher, who? Yeah, no, it was a wonderful little time. We had a little bit of wine. We had some smoke and we were vibing. Absolutely vibing. We were playing card games. It's good shits. It's good shits. See, and that's the thing too. It's really like about those moments of simplicity. Like, we didn't have to do this big, crazy, extravagant thing, but we still had fun, you know? We didn't, like, have to go out and book these things. Like, no, just the simplicity of sharing a meal with one another and the simplicity of spending time together and just, I don't know, chit-chatting. And it's also really good, too, because it's, like, comfort. Right? It's like you know what you're getting into. I know the people. We all have that sense of community and closeness. So there's no anxiety. So we're not nervy. We're groovy, baby. And that just makes it even better, you know? And what's a high without a low? Let me tell you about Red Cup Day 2025. Siren Survivor right here. I am a Siren Survivor. We are strong. Oh my god. You want to talk about getting absolutely obliterated? Absolutely obliterated, love. It was crazy. It was absolute chaos in there. A madhouse. All day long. I didn't really think I was going to get a break. I didn't really think I was going to be able to clock out and take my lunch. To be honest. We eventually got there. It was dark outside, but we got there. It was truly insane. And like, listen, ever since we've had our holiday launch and we have been springing out all of these new drinks, all of these new merchandise items, all of these new flavors and pastries and consume. Like, it's been crazy. It's been really busy. We have peppermint mochas all year round, but now they're like a hot ticket item. Crazy work. So Red Cup Day earns the spot in the low because everything just happened like, I don't even know, just way later. Like, everything just got pushed back. Because we were seeing an uptick in business, obviously. We were serving a lot more customers, obviously. I think the morning told me that they did like 100 customers in 30 minutes. Huh? That's the war that you're telling me that I'm walking into right now? No thank you. No thank you. So you have that, you know, the uptick in business on top of the call-offs, which have been happening all since holiday launch. And all since holiday launch, we've at least had like 2 call-offs every single day. Crazy. Just about. Not specifically every single day, but just about. It's always been 2. So, we don't have the people that were scheduled. We have more business. I don't know about you, but that's sounding like the perfect formula for disaster to me. That's sounding like the perfect formula for, oh, I am upset. That is sounding like the perfect formula for, I don't like this day. That's sounding like the perfect formula for, help! Please! Help! Oh my god. Talk about chaos. Talk about absolute chaos. And then there's me, who's like trying to make the food, make the drinks, help serve the customers, and like restock everything. Like, I'm trying to be everywhere all at once and do a little bit of everything so everybody feels supported. So everybody feels like, okay, this isn't as bad as it actually is. I'm trying to get my baristas to be a little delulu with me. Like, we're having fun here, okay? This is forced family fun time right now, guys, okay? Put on your smile and hand out the peppermint mocha that's out window now! Like, pure chaos, truly, but I'm just trying to help everybody and do everything, but like, oh my god, as soon as I'm helping somebody make a drink, there's a food item, and as soon as I'm putting in the food, there's a front order that needs to be taken, and as soon as I'm taking that order, oh wow, look at that, we're out of whipped creams, and I'm starting to make the whipped creams, but there's another food, and there's another front, and there's another drink, and there's one of me. There's one. I don't know how good your counting abilities are, but according to my most recent calculations, there's one of me. So, we're trying. We were trying, and I think truly, above all else, that's what matters. The day ended. We only got out like an hour late. Like an hour after close. So it was some crazy work, that's for sure. But at the end of the day, we pulled through and we did end up going home. Like, it was just one of those miserable days that feel like a monstrosity of a day, and you're just sitting there and you're like, okay, I'm going to quite literally do what I can do right now, and then anything that needs done, we'll push. We will push, and we'll get to it later, okay? It'll happen. At some point, for sure. But right now, we got things to be doing. We have things that we need to be prioritizing, and they're ready to order now. So, chop, chop! Crazy work. Water buffalo, what's been good? I don't really know. Gotta make a song about it, you know, that's my water buffalo. Oh, the water buffalo for me recently? Yeah, no, it's been water. It has been water itself. This woman was speaking on traditional Chinese medicine, which it's like, oh my god, that's such an umbrella, right? There's so much underneath of it. There's so much to it. And she was like talking about how many Americans drink ice water. Like water with a bunch of ice in it, cold, right? And many of Americans are also suffering from digestive issues. Well, she was suggesting that it was due to the fact that we were drinking this ice cold water, because if you know anything about the cold versus the heat, when it's cold, things tend to shrink up, but when it's hot, things open up, right? We have that contracting and the expanding going on there. And what we're doing when we're consuming ice water is like doing that to the internals, right? It's all but in traditional Chinese medicine, these people are drinking hot water to help everything open up and flow and expand and just have better digestive and gut health. Now listen, I love my ice water. That might be the most American thing about me, but that's my Americanism right there. America. But I really do love an iced water. And, like, I guess this is really, truly the best time to be attempting to do the hot water and see if it's gonna work or feel good or be something that I actually want to try and do. Considering that the weather outside is frightful, and it's chilly, and it's cold, and we're getting to the, like, fall, where we're falling into winter, and we had our first snowfall the other day, like, this is the time, right? To be trying to drink hot water, because listen, and this is also the thing too, is like, I don't like being hot. I don't like being wet. I don't like being sweaty. I don't like being sticky. It's the like physical tactile sensation overload, the overstimulation. It gets to me. So I fear that when I'm exercising and doing all of these things, that I will not be drinking hot water. Which is to say, you got me fucked up if you think I'm going to be drinking hot water after I am sweating. No, that can't be happening. In that scenario, the only answer is ice water. Because I want to feel the hydration impact, and I want to feel the cooling impact, and I want it to feel like, oh, better. I want that relief. Because when I'm already hot and I'm drinking something that's cold, it feels like a relief. Which the same can be said for when you are already cold and then you're drinking something hot. You know, you have that relief. It feels good in the body. So I don't think that I can do it after like an exercising situation, after a workout. That's a no-no. But you know, in other areas and paths of life, we're gonna slowly be trying it. Listen, okay, so here's what I've been doing. I have just been doing water. I have removed ice from the scenario, but like at home, I have my Brita in the fridge, so like it's still kind of cool. And at work, we have filtered cold water, so I'm like, we also have filtered hot water at work, but I haven't been brave. Truly, I just haven't been brave. I'm wanting to. I'm a little hesitant, but I'm wanting to. So, we'll give that a try and we'll let you know. I think so far, like, this is probably my third day of water, no ice. And I feel like the bowels have been moving a bit more than they typically do, so I mean, the digestive situations might be there. We might be having better digestive gut health due to not having ice cold water. So, hey, I feel like from my experience and based off of the information that this lady was speaking on in traditional Chinese medicine, it might have something to it, okay? There might be some factuals going on there because the body does feel a little bit better. Crazy. Anywho, those are my little life updates, high-low water buffalo situations that I've got for you. Let me know how you're doing. Catch me up with you, boo. But I hope you are getting comfy. I hope you're already cozy. I hope you're ready to talk about everything from the cryptic to the mystic and all that wonderful, beautiful-ish in between. Because today we are diving into this episode of the Cosmic Crusade podcast on hypnosis. Hypnosis. Hypnotherapy. Altered states of consciousness. What you know about it? I personally have never really been one to have that experience of hypnotherapy. And like, listen, I think my only real experience with hypnosis personally, from personal anecdotes at this point in my life, would have been from like stage magicians, you know, like stage hypnosis, which we love because it is like similar to the more medicinal applications in the sense of we are relaxing and like getting into more of the subconscious and just opening up the mind, open your mind, and like being receptive to being influenced, yeah? And like, I think we had that at school. I think we had some assembly at some point, and there was a hypnotist that came in and hypnotized some kids, and they were balking around like chickens and doing all the things that this man told them to do. But that's my only personal experience when we're looking at the lens of hypnosis. But so when we are talking about hypnosis and the hypnotherapies, we are looking back, okay? We're looking back in time here. We're thinking like the origins are rooted into dates prior to the 15th century. Okay, this is like old kind of stuff here that we're talking about. You know, you had your like shamans, your priests, and your witch doctors, you know, your traditional healers of the times. They were the ones that were leading this back then. They would heal the patients, the sick people, what have you, by inducing these altered states of consciousness, right? They would create a suggestion that would be accepted by the subconscious, right? They had to kind of keep it within the realms of perceptible reality a little bit there, because we want it to be accepted. We don't want it to be an idea that we are imposing that is rejected by the subconscious, because then you're just not really doing it. And if you look at like the modern times, you know, hypnotherapists will always tell you that you are in full control, right? Like, you can be suggested and it can be like implied, like we can do a little push, but you can lead a horse to water, you ain't gonna make it drink. You know, it's very that. When we're talking about hypnosis. Now, in 1837, medicine professor Dr. John Ellison was the first to kind of push this out there and to really take these ideas and these practices and put it out there in the public, for the public eye to see and for others to view and be a part of. There were public clinical demonstrations of hypnosis, and that's what John was doing. He was really putting it out there into the public eye for everyone to see. Now that dates back to 1837. In a similar time frame, James Esdale, like others, before anesthetics, would use hypnosis to kind of sedate the patients. And during actual operation, these people would be put under hypnosis in order to create a painless operating experience. And actually, fatal surgical shock or like post-operative infections, they weren't all that common. It actually was working, you know. It wasn't something that a lot of people were experiencing. I think, in fact, it was like in about 5% of cases, only 5% would have any sort of shock or infection or like post-operative situation going on. Which, I mean, for this being before we had like the modern medicines and the modern capabilities to like put somebody under when we're going in with the knife, that's pretty darn good. 5% of people had something go wrong. I mean, listen, if I was back in the 1800s and I needed something to be happening, I think I would like my odds. If I needed to undergo a surgery and you could just hypnotize me and not make me feel the pain that is going on, and there aren't like any anesthetics, like, hello? That's crazy work. That's beautiful. I would be saying, sign me up immediately. Hello. And to even take this a step further, when we're going back and looking at the First World War, Germans would use hypnosis on soldiers coming back from war, right? And when we were having these hypnotherapy sessions with the soldiers, the end goal is to remove their shell shock and to help them to get through that as quickly as we can to send them back out to war. You know, they wanted to keep their numbers up as much as they could, and it was like, if you didn't die, well, let's get you patched up in the brain space, and then let's send you back out there so we can win. So the end goal there was to just get them back onto the battlefield as quickly as we could, and it was working for them too. Hypnosis was effective in quickly curing shell shock for these soldiers. Like, the actual traumas that were there and in their brain, like they had gone to war and coming back, and they were able to heal from that experience. Now, that was in the First World War. Now, after the Second World War, Milton Erickson had like a major impact on hypnosis, right? major impact on the practices and the beliefs, and just kind of bringing about the understanding of hypnosis, kind of broadening the horizons here, and kind of just like trying to get buy-in from the public eye, trying to kind of bring everybody on board to like, hey, this is like actually an effective thing that could help you. This is something that we can use and we can gain much benefit from, which, you know, obviously he was very effective in doing that, considering that it has since evolved into a respected practice and in the modern times that is used not only by doctors or, you know, folk in the medical field, but also through your psychologists, your business, and even law enforcement in some cases. So, I mean, within that, we can see exponentially where we have this growth within hypnosis and broadening the acceptance of this practice to, you know, really utilize in the modern times what healing potential that it could bring about to people, you know, just in their everyday lives. It helps so much, you know, and that's not to say that it is going to fix everything. Hypnosis is a tool, not a cure-all, right? And there are like miracle cases out there. There are miracle reports out there talking about what hypnosis has done and the potentials that it has. And it's going to vary individual to individual to individual on the experience that you have with it, yeah? It's your own subconscious and the alterations and changes that you are willing to accept and to bring within yourself. That's what's going to make a difference, right? You know, you could go person to person, they have the same problem, and you're putting them under the same hypnotherapy and, you know, going for the end goal of the same result of them being healed, and you can have two completely different results. It depends on the person by person basis, you know, just like pretty much everything does. But yeah, pretty much nowadays you'll see it used more so as a tool for like stress management, anxiety disorders, anxiety management, pain management, and all things like that in that nature. It's just really changing your subconscious and using the power of your mind really to put all of that energy towards improving your life and to better your life. You know, that's always the goal of any hypnotherapist, any hypnosis session that you will experience, is for your own betterment, you know? Honestly, this should have probably been a bigger chunk in the holistic healing videos, but, you know, hypnosis just kind of needed her own moment because I was feeling very called to speak on it and to explore hypnosis a little bit. And it truly is very interesting, you know, even in like the modern day and age too, where we have gone to the point where like you can induce self-hypnosis. You can do it on yourself. And there are like daily affirmations that you can go through and like ways that you can curate it to be a daily practice as well. And, you know, I'm sure, God, with AI, I'm sure there's something out there where you can just type into the robot and be like, hypnotize me. And something to that effect could happen too, you know, which is kind of a crazy thing to be thinking about in the sense of like where we are in the world, and we can literally have like ChatGPT hypnotize me to make me want to work out more, you know, or something like that. It's crazy, right? Like, this is insane, the world that we're living in. But very cool hypnosis. We love the capacity and the capabilities to kind of change ourselves and improve ourselves and have that journey of self-betterment. And it's nice to know that you have such a wide array of options, and not even just options, but like tools and outlets and channels as well that you can utilize and you can learn from and you can take advantage of to help you reach your end goal of self-betterment and to help you reach your goal of being the best self in whatever way that that looks like for you. These therapies are out there, truly. And I mean, this is kind of like feeling like a parallel to Reiki in a sense of like the energetic exchange, the changing of your energies. You know, within Reiki, you have the life force energy being flown through you. Through hypnosis, you have the energy of influence coming through you into your subconscious and accessing the deeper layers of your mind to help better your own life. I just think stuff like that's pretty cool. I just think stuff like that's pretty amazing, you know? And for how old it is and how far we've come with it, I think it's pretty cool. So, go get hypnotized, huh? Moral of the story, get hypnotized. It could save you. But no, it's pretty cool. And I mean, even in the parallel of like meditation too, because I'm envisioning that you can just sit there, throw on your YouTube video, get into your meditative state, and just be influenced in that sense of like bringing something into your life as well, kind of like the manifestation aspect of it too. It's very cool. You have the capacity in the modern age to kind of DIY it. I don't know. That's just fascinating to me. That's just fascinating. Obviously, it's probably more productive if you've never had the experience or if you've never done anything like this before to go and have it done by a professional. And I mean, you'll have that moment of connection too, and you can ask questions and be guided through it for sure. But I mean, just knowing that the option out there exists to DIY, that's cool shit. That's cool shit. Well, that is all the yapping that I have to do on hypnosis today. I really enjoy diving into these topics and kind of exploring them a little bit more. And it's always cool to learn like the background and like the history and like everything that's happened before, because we only really know what we experience in our modern age, our modern times, you know? So it's always a joy to go through and kind of explore the things, the cryptics, the mystics, the wonderful, beautiful shit in between all of the world and all of the time. Our whole timeline of existence here on the planet, and kind of diving into what happened in the before times, because I wouldn't have thought that like people were just like going under the knife and having surgery done to them while getting hypnotized, you know? It's like, you are feeling very much no pain. No pain. Like, it's funny. It's funny to think about. Well, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to do your big one. Do a little like, do a little comment, do a little subscribe, do all the little interactive things. From my soul to yours, thank you for sharing, co-creating, and going on this crusade through the cosmic experience with me. And until next time, babes, peace and love.